Hello and welcome to Veterans Medals Workshop. Today I think you're going to enjoy our show on the United States Air Force Achievement Medal, which is awarded to our young men and women of the United States Air Force and sometimes to other members of the armed forces.
Hey Jack, thanks for keeping my seat warm. Let's take a load off and let you lie down on the job for a little while. This is going to be loud. Hello and welcome to Veterans Medals Workshop, where we try to have a little fun every now and then. Sponsored by Medals of America, which provides all of the medals and badges, and Medals of America Press, which provides all of the information. And all of the information today came from our new book on the United States Air Force medals and ribbons. The special show today, we're going to talk about the United States Air Force Achievement Medal. It goes all the way back to 1980. It's almost 40 years ago. And it was originally an idea, a sort of self-motivated study by a young Air Force captain named Bond, who said, we need an achievement medal in the Air Force. He said, for three reasons. One, after Vietnam, we do not have any decoration for young airmen or young officers. Two, we're giving out the Commendation Medal too much, and it's sort of, well, it's depressing the prestige of it. And three, the Navy and the Marine Corps and the Coast Guard have an achievement medal, so the Air Force certainly needs one. Well, it took a year or two, but it finally worked its way up, and it was approved in 1980. And it's meant to reward young airmen and young officers in the Air Force for outstanding professional achievement and for meritorious service that doesn't quite equal the level of the Commendation Medal. And it's a very interesting medal because when you take a look at it, it has some symbolism on it that goes back beyond ancient Rome. And so you say, well, where did the symbolism for this medal come? And I'm going to talk to you exactly about the medal in a moment. But let's talk about the fun part of it first. It has a symbolism from the United States Air Force SEAL. And let me tell you what, that symbolism, that had to be decided by 30 different Air Force generals before they finally agreed. But basically in the center of the SEAL is now a thunderbolt. Well, who's thunderbolt? Well, it's Jupiter's, the Roman god of the air. And when he was unhappy, he would send down a thunderbolt and from it would come strikes of lightning. So it was pretty interesting and, kind of unusual picture of a thunderbolt. So you might be interested where it came from. It's found on some ancient coins, which is an eagle, which was a manner in which Jupiter supposedly sent his thunderbolts down. It was on Roman standards. Doesn't everything go back to Rome these days? And as you can see in this example of a Roman legionnaire carrying the standards, there is the eagle that Jupiter used to send down his thunderbolt. The eagle is sitting on a thunderbolt, and from that go lightning strikes. So it's an incredibly interesting and filled with symbolism, really back beyond the Romans, back to the Greeks, where Zeus was another god of the heavens. So it's meant to say that the Air Force can strike anywhere, anytime, anyhow, and you just better be prepared for it. So let's go take a good look at the Air Force Achievement Medal.
As I mentioned earlier, the Air Force Achievement Medal has been in effect since October of 1980, and the criteria for its award is it's awarded to members of the Armed Forces of the United States and even to foreign military personnel below the grade of colonel while serving in any capacity with the United States Air Force when they distinguish themselves by outstanding achievement or meritorious service, but not to the extent that it would warrant the award of the Commendation Medal. The medal is a silver-colored, nebular-shaped disc, 1 3/8 inches in diameter with an oxidized satin finish. The central portion of the medal is recessed, and contained in its center is a heraldic thunderbolt, similar to that used on the shield of the Air Force SEAL. The heraldic thunderbolt signifies the striking power through the medium of aerospace. The nebular border of the medal represents clouds in the firmament, and there are 11 clouds around the edge of the medal, which is a sum of 4 and 7, the digits of the year the Air Force was established. Ha ha! Bet you didn't know that one. The full-size medal comes in a silver oxidized finish, but it is also available in an anodized silver finish for formal wear by the military honor guards. The back of the medal reads Air Force Meritorious Achievement. It comes with a regulation ribbon. Military medals are available for formal wear in both the standard finish and the oxidized finish, as well as many ribbons and unofficial hat pins for veterans. The devices are the new C for combat device or remote device and your standard Oakleaf clusters, and I will cover those in great detail in just a moment. Every award of the Air Force Achievement Medal is accompanied by a signed certificate. In the Air Force Pyramid of Honor, the Air Force Achievement Medal comes before the Air Force Combat Action Medal and the Air Force Presidential Unit Citation, and after the Joint Achievement Medal, or in the case of most Air Force awards, the Air Force Commendation Medal. The Air Force is unique in limiting the wear of anodized full-size medals only to their honor guard. However, the good news is on mess dress and civilian dress, the Air Force authorizes liberal use of anodized miniature medals for formal wear. The Air Force now authorizes 4 devices for the Achievement Medal. For combat conditions, it authorizes the C device. For remote operations, the R device. For an award other than a combat conditions or remote, a second award would be indicated by a bronze Oakleaf cluster, and 5 or more awards would be indicated by a silver Oakleaf cluster. Under the new device system, the first award of a combat conditions achievement medal would have a bronze C, second award would have a silver C, a third award would have a gold C. Additional awards other than the C award would continue to be indicated by a bronze Oakleaf cluster. And just to make you really knowledgeable on placement of the combat conditions devices, the 4th award would be a bronze C with a reef around it, 5th award a silver C with a reef around it, etc., as shown. Placement of the remote combat devices follows somewhat the same sequence: a bronze R for the first award, a silver R for the second award, a gold R for the third award, and an R with an Oakleaf cluster indicates maybe a previous award. Additional awards of the remote combat device are shown with the bronze, silver, and gold R, and then for the 4th award, it starts with a bronze R with a reef around it, and the same thing with the silver R with a reef around it for the 5th award, etc. Placement of Oakleaf cluster devices is as shown here, with a big exception being for the difference between the Air Force today and the Army Air Force is that the Oakleaf clusters are placed vertically on the full-size medal and not horizontally like it was done in the Army Air Force. But wait, you say, a bronze letter V was authorized retroactive to January 1996 for those receiving the award for action during combat conditions, hostile acts, or single acts of terrorism. In the first instance of that V device being awarded with the medal were to airmen who received the medal for action during the 1996 terrorist bombing of the Air Force dormitory in Saudi Arabia. However, the V device was removed from the Air Force Achievement Medal in 2016. Just to put things in perspective, any member of the Air Force who received the Achievement Medal since 1980 would have also received the National Defense Service Medal, and there's a very nice video out on that if you want to learn more. Additionally, with 30 days service after September the 11th, 2001, every airman would be authorized the Global War on Terror Service Medal. So today, Air Force personnel receiving the Air Force Achievement Medal would have at least 3 medals: the Achievement Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, and the War on Terrorism Service Medal. Members of the Air Force Reserve and Air National Guard who have been activated and receive the Achievement Medal would also, of course, have the Armed Forces Reserve Medal with mobilization device, and that is unique in that it has its own Armed Forces Reserve back or reverse to the medal just for Air Force personnel. A very nice display of how an Air Force sergeant and Iraqi veteran displays his achievement medal along with his other service medals and his dog tags and challenge coins. A really handsome display. This Air Force Cold War veteran displays his ribbons over his medals, and he has both the Air Force Commendation Medal followed by the Air Force Achievement Medal, which is in front of his Air Force Good Conduct Medal. While only Air Force Honor Guards can wear anodized medals on active duty, this veteran of both Afghanistan and Iraq has had all of his service medals anodized, and you can see what a brilliant difference it makes on his Air Force Achievement Medal. This Air Force Master Sergeant and veteran of Desert Storm has a really nice display, and note the vertical application of a multiple awards on his Good Conduct Medal and the M device on his Armed Forces Reserve Medal. This Air Force nurse and veteran of Desert Storm has an almost classic display, and it features her Air Force Commendation Medal followed by her Air Force Achievement Medal and then her service medals. It's rather neat how she uses her dog tags down at the bottom to remind you all that she was there too. Staff Sergeant Rumsey proudly displays his ribbons over his medals with his Air Force Achievement Medal in the place of honor. And it's directly over his campaign medal, and notice that the campaign stars are horizontal on the ribbon and vertical on the medal. This Air Force Reserve Master Sergeant proudly displays his medals from 20 years service, and look what a difference anodized medals make in the final display.
Thank you for joining us today for our show on the Air Force Achievement Medal. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's really kind of interesting. Incredible symbolism on the Air Force medal, incredible history behind the symbolism, and it's very interesting with the introduction of the new C and R devices that go there, along with the Oakleaf clusters and how you wear them. All of this information is in our book, United States Air Force Medals and Ribbons, available for you on our website, moapress.com, or on Amazon. If you enjoyed the show, please give us a like. Even better, we like a subscription. I think it's called subscribing. Okay, all right. See you next time.